Alright, so welcome back. In this video, we will talk about the actual example of how to use the 11 principles that you just learned in the previous video. So let me explain to you first the interface. I'm just using Microsoft Word on two separate windows. On the left side is where we will do the activity, and on the right side is a summary of the principles that we just discussed in the previous video. And the reason that I arranged it this way is so that I can point to you that, hey, I am now using this principle here as I am doing the activity here on the left side. So before we continue, here's a quick recap of your progress. You watched the video one, which is an introduction on how to prepare the course story. So all the things that we've done so far since the beginning up to now is part of the course story, or the marketing. It's part of the marketing course story. And you also watched the video number 2, which is how to create the sales keyword outline. And we did this by going to the website and listing down the products and services. So that's how we did that. And in video number 3, we talked about the expert level articles. And then we continued in video number 4 about the expert level articles. And then we went through the 11 principles for writing expert level articles. And in video number 5, which is this video, we are looking at an actual example. How do we use the 11 principles in the actual work that we do? So these are the keywords that we started with when we did the previous activity, where we went on the website and then we listed down all the possible variations, the products, the services on the website. So here are the keywords just to get started. Right. So this is now the actual work. Now just skimming the keywords, I'm going to start at the top. Nespresso compatible capsules, pods, Dolce Gusto compatible capsules, pods. Let me just make this smaller so we can see the principles. Maybe I'll make this other side smaller. So number 1. All right. So I just listed some of the keywords here. Okay, so I'm just going to add in the principle number 8, the qualifying criteria. I'm going to put it here. So I just added that in. How to choose the right coffee pods and capsules for you. So it's just actually a title. I'm not writing anything yet. And what we're doing right now is we are creating an outline for the articles that we will write. So every number is an article. Every number that you see here is an article. Okay, so this is the company meets the okay. Now I'm adding some notes here just to make it easier for you to follow. And I'm going to highlight them in red. And in the final version, of course, I don't think it's a good idea to put these in because the readers won't be interested in these comments. I just added in how to choose the right coffee pods and capsules for you based on the qualifying criteria number 8. And there might be like, 3 criteria, maybe 5 criteria, or maybe 7 criteria. It's an or. So you can even go with 11 criteria if you want. Just off the top of my head, we're going to look at the quality, the quantity, we're going to look at the price, we're going to look at the history of the company. Those are the criteria. Do we have a good history? We're going to look at the taste. We're going to look at the compatibility with the machine. And these are just things off the top of my head. Most of the time, when we're still at this point, we don't even need to research yet. Just the first thing, that, and practically you can use these criteria for any industry, except maybe this compatibility, but the rest, except maybe also the taste, but the rest you can use that as a criteria. And you can also come up with your own criteria. So I'm going to highlight this in red again. Again, if I highlight it in red, it means that it's probably not going to show in the final version of the output of the work that we are doing. It's just during this training to make it easier to follow what we're trying to do here. So once you get here in the number 7, you just copy the same thing. So here's an outline. So how to choose the right coffee pods and capsules for you. I'm just going to quickly answer that. First, you look at the quality of the coffee beans. Is the quality very good? Is the taste very good? Is it a reasonable quantity for the price? And what's the history of the company? Does it come from Italy? Does it come from whatever country? So that might be another criteria. Where does it come from? And these are things that we don't even need to research at this point. We're just trying to brainstorm. So we are just trying to brainstorm at this point. Now, everything that I write here has a potential to be an article. So even these, you can talk about quality in one article, quantity in another article, price in another article. That's possible, or you could make it shorter. Like this entire section here can be one article. It can also be this entire section here can be divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 articles. So that's totally up to you. You could even do both. You could make a shorter article that tackles all of these, and then you could make additional individual articles that tackles these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, the advantage to doing it this way is you never run out of topics that you can write on. You never lose ideas. You never encounter writer's block. You always have an idea what to write on in any industry, because you can practically use, I'm just going to highlight it in blue, the parts that you can practically use in any industry: quality, quantity, price, history of the company, where does it come from, where do the products, I'm sorry about that, I have a virus problem right now. There's about 200 viruses detected, and it came from an infected USB. So the ones that I highlighted in blue, I'm trying to turn it off, but I wonder why it's not. Okay, I just turned it off. All right. So I highlighted the ones in blue. And what that means is that you can use these items in any industry, practically in any industry. Compatibility, not necessarily. Quality, quantity, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so that's the qualifying criteria right there. And then let me add it at the end where you put where you ask them to take action now, and chances are you place that here in how our company is the right fit for your company. Okay, how our company is the right fit for, not necessarily your company, but is the right fit for you. So here at the end, we will add this. Ask them to take action now and mention the benefits of taking action now. Let me just highlight it in blue. Okay, so these ones, you can use them in any industry. And when we are working on the outline, what we are actually using, what principle are we using? We are using the principle of, where was the 3 T's of training? I think it's in number 4, so I forgot to put it here. Principle number 4 is the 3 T's of training. Tell them what you're going to tell them, or the summary. Tell them the details. Okay, and then tell them what you just told them, which is the recap. So we are actually at this point working on these principles here where you tell them what you're going to tell them. So this is the outline. Okay, so this is the tell them what you're going to tell them. Okay. And once we're actually done, we just copy this outline and we paste it at the bottom, and that will be the recap. Is the same, or at least very similar to the outline at the top. So that's the beauty of this, is that you can reuse a lot of the work that you are doing. I'm going to highlight this in blue because that can be used in any industry. And I might as well put here the legends. Red means, forgot, oh yeah, it's the comments. Red means it's the comments to make the training easier to follow. They may be removed in the final version. And blue means you can use it in almost any other industry. So that's the Legends system. And I'm just coming up with this right on the spot. All right, so now we use the 3 T's of training. Right, so I'm just gonna highlight it in blue, maybe, to tell us that we've finished using it. And principle number 8 is the qualifying criteria. I'm just gonna highlight this in blue. And another thing that we can use at this point is the 10 by 10 by 4 formula, which is, it's the 10 frequently asked questions in the industry and the 10 should ask questions. Now, even if you go inside any industry, you don't need research every time. Like, just off the top of your mind, what are the questions that you're asking right now? And what are compatible capsules? That's a number one question, right? So we now have one. And then you start asking other questions. That's part of your outline. That's part of the articles that you're going to write. You can write a whole article just to answer this question. Number two might be, what are the benefits of compatible capsules? Okay? And now I'm pulling from my experience with the website, so this might be an exception. What's the difference between compatible capsules and original capsules? So this one might need a little research for you to come up with this, but it's very simple. You just go to Google and type in compatible coffee capsules. So what are compatible coffee capsules? Okay. So you see here a couple of resources, and you can also get some ideas. There's even a capsule compatibility chart here, and let's take a look at what that looks like. Now I'm seeing some things here as I'm reading the website, and one of the things that caught my eye is that the compatible capsules are cheaper. Now the number might change. It might be 20% cheaper, 30% or less, or 10%. Now that's going to be variable, but it gives me an idea that that's one of the benefits. Compatible coffee capsules are cheaper. Okay, so I'm jumping from one place to the next. Coffee capsule reviews. It's a coffee capsule compatibility chart. Now, I don't understand any of it yet, but it sounds interesting. And I'm looking at the left side. We're seeing the same similar brands: Nespresso, Cafitali. I don't know what that is. It's not part of our website as of now. But we have a Dolce Gusto. We have a Cafe. Oh, it's really Cafe. Yep. Lavazza. So I think what we focus on is just the Lavazza, the Nescafe, the Cafitali, the Nespresso. And one thing I notice is there's a lot of things here that I don't know, a lot of terms that I don't know. So I'm just going to check these. And my guess is that these are the machines. These are the coffee machines where the capsule will fit. Because there's a lot of different models or not brands, but the models of different coffee machines, different colors, different sizes, different functionalities. Okay, so what we're seeing right now, it's just reviews. It's just reviews of the different, but these are good to know that there are different brands here, or models rather. So compatible coffee capsules are cheaper. I'm just going to go back here and look at a couple more. Yeah, this is a good question. What coffee capsules are compatible with Nespresso? So you know what? I'm just going to put that in. What are compatible capsules? What are the benefits? What's the difference? Okay. What compatible capsules or what capsules are compatible with Nespresso? So I got that question by just going in Google, and I'm not even going inside the article. I'm just looking at the titles. So I got that here. What coffee capsules are compatible with Nespresso? So now that we have that, we might as well do that for the other brand. What capsules are compatible with Dolce Gusto? And repeat that. Cafitali. What capsules are compatible with Lavazza? So now we have a lot of ideas for what articles to write. 1 article, 2 articles, 3 articles, 4 articles. So we now have at least 13 articles, but we can even expand it. If we write 1 article just on quality, on quantity, on price, we now have more articles that we can write on. And let me just emphasize to you at this point the importance of doing this activity. Coming up with an outline using the 11 principles. It's very important because you can produce a large list of what articles you can write on in a way that is structured. There is a sequence that makes sense. And this is very useful because you can produce practically almost unlimited number of articles. And then you always know your progress when you are writing. What have you written? What have you not yet written, but you can write later? And it just makes it easier for everyone to estimate the quantity of the work. So those are a couple. There's probably a lot more benefits to doing this. Another benefit is for SEO. The more quality content, the better. And another benefit is unique. You are producing unique articles. You're not just repeating the same topic over and over again. So actually, when we are doing this, it might look complicated, but it actually makes everyone's job easier because now we have an outline and we know where we are. We know what we need to do, what articles we need to write. So that's another benefit. Know what articles you need to write. It also makes it easier to delegate to other writers because the writer does not need to be you. You just need to come up with the initial outline, and then we can hire writers from the other websites like in Upwork, Upwork.com. You can also hire in iWriter.com. And I'm going to create another video where we're going to do that. We're not going to be the ones who write the article in that example, but in this case, we're just going to do the outline for now. Because what's really important, once you have the outline, producing the content is much, much easier, and it does not have to be done by you. You do not have to be the one writing the article. Of course, if you're a writer, then, well, you come up with the outline and you also produce the article. But if you're a business owner and you're lacking the time to, write the articles yourself, you can just assign someone on your team to come up with this outline and then delegate the outline. It should go now to the iWriter.com website where there's a group of writers there that you can hire. And so these are writers for hire, and you can also hire writers in Upwork or in Craigslist. And that's fine. So let's get back. We got sidetracked a little bit. "10 best Nespresso compatible pods." Okay, I got another idea here for another article, which is a complete guide to compatible coffee capsules. Guide for compatible capsules. That's another possible article, and you can have so many subtopics here. I'm going to highlight this in red because actually this whole outline here can even be under this. But right now we are just Okay, so I just got another idea from this one here. It says here, buy capsules online in bulk. So another question that we want to answer is that where to buy Nespresso compatible capsules. Where to buy Dolce Gusto compatible capsules. Where to buy Fitili compatible capsules. And where to buy Lavazza compatible capsules. So again, which principle are we using at this point? We are using the 10 by 10 by 4 formula, and we are talking about the 10 frequently asked questions. All right. Now at this point, some of the questions here are probably the should ask questions. The questions that the readers don't know to ask because they don't know enough about the industry. So this is probably going to be a mix, which is going to be fine. Okay, so we probably cover this as well, but we're going to do it a little more. One thing you need to pay attention to, though, is you want to make sure that the sequence makes sense. You start with the what. What are compatible capsules? What are the benefits? What's the difference? You know, and then complete guide. We can probably put that here at the top. It's a complete guide for compatible capsules. And even when we don't know a lot yet about compatible capsules, you know, you can practically use this structure, complete guide, on any industry, on any niche, on any company. Just replace the keyword here. And remember that one of our principles that we talked about is the 6 questions. An expert answers the 6 questions. Why is this important for the reader to read? What is it? How does it work? So we've already answered a lot of the what is it, right? Because we talked about what are compatible capsules. And we actually talked about what are the benefits of compatible capsules. And although it starts with what, it actually answers the why, right? Because if you know the benefits, the why is tied to the benefit to the reader. So this is the why here. Now what we could do is, under this what are the benefits of compatible capsules, we could have a quick definition of compatible capsules. It's just a maybe 1 sentence definition. And when we define that, of course, we define that simply. So write so that a 5-year-old can understand. But at this point, we're just coming up with the outline. We're not writing anything yet. So this one might be the detailed version. And this one here might be just the summary. So compatible capsules are cheaper. I don't know what are the other benefits of compatible capsules at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go inside and look for that article that talks about benefits. Benefits of compatible capsules. I'm going to put coffee there. Might be here. I'm just going to read this article, not really in depth. It's just, you know, quick reading. Okay, so one of the benefits, it seems, is it keeps the content fresh. Why? Because it's sealed in an aluminum, and I forgot the word for it, an aluminum cap. Now, as I'm going through this article, well, one of the things I noticed is that it's adding some unnecessary things. Okay? It's talking about the benefits of coffee capsules, but it's adding an unnecessary paragraph here at the top. And one of the principles that we covered under the right so a 5-year-old can understand is to talk straight to the point. Avoid flowery words and flowery paragraphs. You also want to avoid, unnecessary paragraphs and sentences. So you want to talk straight to the point. I mean, just answer the question. We are not here to win a writing award. We are not here to impress the readers. We are here to communicate information, because our goal, remember, our goal is not to impress the reader with the article. Our goal is to convince the reader to buy the article. And if you are jumping from this, it's not really related to the topic, it's okay. I mean, everyone does this, but not in our company. In our company, we talk straight to the point. We avoid flowery words, and we avoid, there are cases when you can totally avoid it, but at least minimize the flowery words and the flowery paragraphs. You talk straight to the point, and you avoid unnecessary paragraphs. And why do we do it this way? Why is this important? Because this principle is proven and tested. It's proven and tested by Dan Kennedy. This principle comes from Dan Kennedy, who is a leading expert in the world. When he writes sales copy, people pay him somewhere from $20,000 to $40,000. Why? Because he uses these principles. He actually has many other principles that he uses, but we're not going to cover that earlier in this video. But the point is, this is a proven principle. So we want to stick to this principle, and we have seen this principle work. Okay, when we work with the websites, our clients, and over the last 8 years, I have seen this principle work again and again. So this works, and this style of writing right here, I'm very sorry, but it's not very effective. It's not very effective. It's here to entertain too much, not even in a good way. It's here to just be flowery. Okay, so just try to keep, if you are a writer, just try to keep the answer short and straight to the point. So what are compatible capsules? What are the benefits of compatible capsules? Quick definition: compatible capsules are cheaper, keeps the content fresh. Now we did get some idea from this. Flavor, taking the screen. Okay, so another benefit is you just flip the switch, or you just push the button. So it's easy to prepare. Okay, so another idea here, it's unrelated, is a coffee capsule machine. So we might add that somewhere here. What are compatible capsules? What are coffee capsule machines? And remember, one of the things that we talk about is how does it work? How does and I don't know how a coffee capsule machine works. I'm not even sure if I've ever seen one. I've probably seen one maybe in a cafe somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's a coffee capsule machine. So the point is, I don't need to know what a coffee capsule machine is to ask this question. I can come up with an outline, and so can you. You can come up with an outline even if you don't know how a coffee capsule machine works, right? You just ask the question, and and worry about researching it later. Just ask the question for now. That's part of the outline. So how does it work? Okay. And at this point, we haven't answered yet what are the things I need to do. But it doesn't make sense to ask this to the reader directly. We need to think of a way that we can come up with a topic that addresses this question. So what are the things I need to do? Maybe we start with how to choose the right coffee machine for you. What are the different brands of coffee machine? Okay, what are the difference of brands of coffee machines? Where can you buy coffee machines? You might even have a topic where you have a coffee machine reviews. You might even have another topic here below. Since we have the coffee machine reviews, we can also have the coffee capsule reviews. And in my mind, this is a hot and strong topic because anyone looking for reviews is a buyer. Is most probably going to buy. They're just not yet decided which product. Okay. So let's take a quick look at our outline so far. We have an outline of 26 articles that follow a lot of the principles. We still do not know. I still have no idea what I put here to satisfy the what are the things I need to do. But under that, I can probably put buy coffee capsule machines from here. And then insert link here. And then buy coffee capsules from here, and then insert link here. Another action could be read the, what was that, complete guide right here at the top. Complete guide, okay. You can also do a visit our website at au.cafe.com. Okay. And visit our website at au.cafe.com. Then you insert the actual link. So now we have a pretty good outline. Okay, so all you have to do is just follow this follow this framework, follow the principles, and start applying them, start adding them. And you can do it the same way that I did, where I highlighted what principles I applied. We have principle number 3, by the way, what to focus on and what not to focus on. Let's see how we can integrate that into our outline. I think we've already done that a little bit here, how to choose the right coffee machine for you. And I just got another idea from this. We can also do it for how to choose the right coffee capsules for you. Did we already have that? Where we talk about the, oh yeah, we already have that. So actually we already partially addressed this. So we focused on, let me just delete the other one. Okay, I'm just gonna find that later. So myths versus truths, we can probably add that somewhere here. Myths about compatible coffee capsules. Off the top of my head, one myth, one thing that is not true might be it's lower quality. The truth is that as long as you choose from the good brands, high level quality coffee beans. I'm just brainstorming. This might not be the final thing that will appear on the article, but that's just the starting point. There may be, more myths and truths. You might go with 5, 7, 11, 17. So as you do your research, you might suddenly come up with an idea. So just add additional topics that you think of as you do your research. And one of the things that you might notice as I am doing my research is, it's actually a very, it's not a very structured process, right? Meaning, let me just add that here so you can see the words. The research process is not very structured. It's very flexible. It's very unpredictable. Suddenly, you get ideas, out of unrelated topics. The idea you get might be totally unrelated in what you're currently researching, but you can use the idea. You can use the idea in another area. That's where the principles right here on the right side come in, because for as long as you are familiar with the principle, you know what pieces of information, okay, when you know the principles, then you know what pieces of information you are looking for. So that while you are doing your research, those pieces of information that are scattered all over the internet, all over the article, they will immediately stand out to you, and you can spot them and say, that's the information that I'm looking for, right? Because if you're not familiar with the principles here, you're just gonna, chances are the writer is just gonna look at the article and just gonna start rewriting it. and copying the mistakes of the same article that's, you know, that's made a lot of mistakes. You're just copying the mistakes of the writer who did this. So by having these principles, you can also avoid the mistakes that the writer is doing. So here's the benefit again. I'm going to add this here. Avoid the mistakes of the other writers on the internet. Why? Because now you can spot the mistakes of those writers if you know the 11 principles. So by now we have a pretty long outline, but actually if I continue on this for the next hour or so, an hour or two, I can even make this outline longer. And one of the reasons that we want to make a long outline is because in SEO, we have a strategy where we optimize one keyword, actually 1 or 2 keywords per article. So the more articles we have, the easier we can rank for many of our keywords. Now, just so you know, many of the projects that we are working on in SEO are ranking for hundreds to thousands of keywords. Okay, that's why it's very important that we have an outline of many articles. It's very important to have an outline of many articles, so we have more resources that we can use to distribute in SEO and in social media. All right. Now, I think at this point, you have gotten a good idea of how to use the principles here. And also at this point, some of you who are watching this video may feel a little bit overwhelmed, and that's totally normal, okay? It's totally normal to be overwhelmed. But again, remember, how do you overcome that feeling of overwhelm? Take one baby step at a time. Okay, so the first thing that you can do is repeat this video 2 to 3 times. That's the first baby step. And the second baby step is follow the example. You know, follow it once, follow it a second time, follow it a third time. And it's totally normal that when you are still doing it the first time, you're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed. That is totally normal. But as you repeat it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 100 times, because we are going to repeat this process for all of our projects, then you are going to gain more confidence. You are going to gain mastery eventually. Okay, the more you use these principles, you will learn to master them more. And so far, we haven't encountered a lot of the fears, angers, frustrations, dreams, and aspirations yet. One thing we could do is we could go to Amazon.com and compatible coffee capsules. And let's put the brand there at the top. Nespresso compatible. And we are just going to go inside here. We're going to go inside there and then scroll down to where we can see the reviews here. And we are going to click on the 1-star, 2-star, and the 3-star reviews. Okay, so again, go to Amazon.com, type the keyword at the top, Nespresso compatible coffee capsules, and then scroll down to the customer reviews and check out the 1-star, 2-star, and the 3-star reviews. They do not taste good. They do not fit the Nespresso. Oh my goodness. These really didn't work in the machine. Okay. Disappointing. Climb down is a hard press, so it's very hard. Water flow through capsule takes longer. Taste is weakish. I really want. So you can see here the fears, angers, the frustrations of the people in this industry, and how you use that. We might not have an immediate way to use that, but let's just put a section here for the fears, angers, frustrations, dreams, and aspirations. The nightmare stories. Now these are nightmare stories. What keeps them up awake at night. So let's just add this section here. And then I'm going to start taking notes. The taste is not good. Capsules do not fit the coffee machine. It doesn't have to be Nespresso only, because it's the same situation for the other brands. Capsules couldn't be punctured, or it's very hard to press. The taste here is very weak. Okay, they jam. They get stuck. The box came open. The shipping box came open. Oh man, that's a nightmare. With a patch, maybe a duct tape, or a masking tape or a scotch tape. The taste of the coffee is terrible. Tried 2 capsules and threw away the rest. I can't return. It didn't work, and I can't return. So let's take a look at the others here. Okay, it doesn't taste like espresso. It tastes like coffee. Now, I don't even know what espresso tastes like. I might have drunk it before, but I'm not that very, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, because I'm just not much of a coffee drinker. I might drink a little, sweet type of coffee, but not the strong ones. But I'm just gonna put that there anyway. Okay, we've had water all over the counter or all over the table. Oh my goodness, I had to pry a capsule with a knife. Now, as you are reading these fears, angers, frustrations, and dreams and aspirations from actual people, okay, you will notice that, there's a lot of emotion here. And the words are very strong. And these are the same things that will evoke these are the same words that will evoke strong emotions from the other readers, from the other things. Okay, now earlier I showed you an article here that is very poor, because it just kept on talking about unrelated things, and it doesn't really generate any strong emotion in the reader. You can improve this type of article by incorporating these fears, angers, frustrations, dreams, and aspirations into the article. The ones right here. So you might, let me just show you a quick example. Now I know I'm jumping a bit, but I just wanted to show you a quick example that is, stronger. It's a stronger type of article. It's not boring at all. All you do is where was that? I think I have it here at the top. Quick example, okay, of how to write an article. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go create another video that will be more in depth. But for now, I just wanted to show you the difference. Okay. Are you tired of compatible coffee capsules that? And this is not going to be the final format of it. It's just for easier reading. Are you tired of compatible coffee capsules that do not taste good, do not fit the machine, a very weak taste, gets stuck in your machine, and can even damage your machine, taste terrible, you can't return the capsule if it doesn't fit, you have to pry the capsule with a knife just to get to the beans. So are you tired of compatible coffee capsules that have very weak taste? They do not fit your machine. They get stuck in your machine and can even damage your machine. They taste terrible, and worse, you can't even return them. Now, this is not perfect, and this will require maybe one or two rewrites, and checking for, spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. But the point is that this sentence right here, it addresses more the needs of the reader. It addresses more their concerns compared with this sentence right here, where we're talking about coffee is the second most internationally traded product in terms of value, naturally after oil. It's not relevant to the article where you're talking about the benefits. Actually, this was not the first article that we were looking at, I think. I think it was this article. This one, it doesn't appeal to the needs of the reader. If you appreciate good coffee like me, you'll agree it's all in the flavor. Not necessarily. Taking those green coffee beans from plantations around the world. Now, this article, by the way, here, it might do well if the title of the article is, I'm not saying that this article can't be used, okay? There's a situation that you can use this article here from one of our competitors. Not really a direct competitor, though. One use for this article might be if you're talking about the history of coffee. Now, if this was the topic, then this article would make sense. You're adding some info here, but here you're talking about the benefits. If you talk about the benefits, you have to focus on the benefits, not on the history of coffee, where you're talking about, so you love great coffee, it keeps you and soothes you, so you may have noticed the rise of the coffee capsule. Now, this part here, you may have noticed the rise in coffee capsule popularity and ask, what's so special about these capsules? These might fit in a different article, rise of coffee capsules. But not in this article. It doesn't fit. In this article, if you're talking about the benefits, you want to focus on the emotional things, the ones that uh, that people are complaining about, the fears, their angers, their frustrations. And what you get here from Amazon, they are the real frustrations of real people. We're not just imagining these things. And even if at the start we don't know much about the industry, as we read more and more reviews like this, we will learn more about the industry. We will get to have an insight and understanding on what are the concerns of our readers. It's actually a better way to understand our readers by reading the reviews rather than reading articles like this. Like if you read articles like this, it's going to mislead you in the wrong direction. It's better to read reviews like this because you will really, really begin to truly and deeply understand the concerns of the readers. So let me just, where was that? Taste is not good. Okay, I'm just going to add that here. It tastes more watery, or it tastes more like water and less like coffee. And it's a good statement. I really wanted to like this, but and you can just insert anything here. It's a good sentence. Let's add milk for a latte. Should they're organic? Yeah, another concern for the readers might be, is the coffee organic? Now, I don't know if Cafe Bonini uses organic coffee or not, or AU Cafe uses organic coffee, so that might be a good time to do an immediate research here. Oh, wow. It is organically grown. And if you're not familiar with, what's the difference between organic and non-organic food or, products, organic products, well, they don't use pesticides. They are healthier for everyone. They are good for the environment because they use natural farming as opposed to using artificial chemicals that harm the soil, it harms the environment, it uses chemical fertilizers. Organically grown products are really better, generally. They are a little bit more expensive, but it's really good to know. And that might be, we might go up here and go back to the qualifying criteria. Where did I put that? How to choose the right coffee pods for you. Make sure that it is organic. Make sure that it is organic. Make sure that it is healthy. So that's tied. Organic is healthier. Make sure that it is friendly on the environment. Organic is friendly on the environment. Okay, so we just added a couple more things. Because there are actually people who care a lot about the environment, about the health, who are very conscious about, they are very conscious about whether it's good for the environment and good for the health or not. And they're very passionate about it. Okay, so it's organic coffee, biodegradable. Okay. And let me just copy this from here under taste here. And so that we have how to choose the right coffee pods and capsules for you, and how our company Cafe Bonini is the right fit for you. Okay. So far so good. Now let's review the checklist so far. Myths versus truth, fears, angers, frustrations. At least we have addressed it in a big way. Now, normally I would spend a lot more time doing this, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna cut it short with this fears, angers, frustrations, dreams, and aspirations. So what else did we miss? We did the pyramid structure, also the 10 by 10 by 4 formula. Another question, I just had an idea. Let me add this here at the top. Coffee, what's the difference? Okay. What compatible coffee capsules are organic? And multiple media formats, I don't think we need to worry about this right now. So I'm just gonna color that red so we can go back to that later. And we are doing well with that 10 by 10 by 4, 10 frequently asked questions. We are making progress on that. The pyramid structure, this will come in when we are writing the articles. Build credibility. One thing you can do to check out the credibility is visit the website of the client. So just go to aucafe.com and visit. If they are a franchise, you can also check out the main franchise, so cafebonini.com. And let's just add that section there. Okay, I'm just gonna put that here. About Cafe Bonini. About Cafe Bonini Australia. Okay, so just go to the About Us page on the main franchise website, which is not owned by our client. Our client owns the aucafe.com. And I'm just gonna look for the About Us page right here. Tiziano Bonini takes the name from its founder, who was passionate about coffee and believed the processing and art form. Our products are positioned in the market as the very best price quality ratio. Okay, so you can actually, since this is owned by the client, you can pull this. And put that there. So at least we have an idea about that, and just copy the link. So if we need to check back on that, same as here, have an About Us page, just copy the link, put that here. Actually, let me just transfer this here and copy this. Now we are allowed to copy this and reuse it because it's the franchise website. I think it's copying the picture, so I'm just gonna go and delete that. We don't need those. Or maybe if I just undo and paste it again, there should be something here on the right side here. Keep text only, okay. Looking good. And you just want to read that and see anything that you can use later. Familiarize with the About Us. And you want to read this also because it just tells us the advantage of this company, of this brand. And you can tie this in later with the, why our company is the right fit for our readers, our customers. So let's go back to the area here. Now, I remember that we only have one myth versus truth. We only have one myth versus truth. So I'm just going to go back there at the top. I have some new ideas based on the research that we just did. Another myth. So let's just number this. Myth 1 and truth 1. A myth number 2 is that it won't fit on your capsule machine. Truth number 2 is it's designed so that it works on your capsule machine. And myth number 3, truth number 3. You can't return it if you encounter any problems. You can return it within the refund, because I got this idea because there were a lot of people who were complaining in Amazon that they could not return it. So this is definitely something that readers will be concerned about. And once they go through this myth versus truth, you know, it's gonna make them feel better. It's gonna build the trust in our company and our brand. You want to repeat this process, you know, as you are doing your research. And let's check what else we missed. What if any action? What do I need to do? Take action now. We actually already made a section for this. What are the things that they can do if they want to take the next step? We did that for here, buy coffee capsule machines from here. So we just need to insert the link. All we need to do is go to the website and click on one of the product pages here, Nespresso, Dolce Gusto, Lavazza, or maybe even the home page. We can use this link here. Something like that. Insert the link here. Something like that. Okay. And that's basically it. That's how you come up with a really good and very structured outline. And you might notice we were jumping all over the place, but that is actually the process of researching. You know, it's all about being very flexible. It's all about writing the outline and then rewriting, adding to it, deleting, modifying it. So there's a lot of changes that we did to this. We started out very with basically nothing. And now we have a really good outline here. And this outline will be very useful for delegating to writers, especially one of the places that we're using right now is iWriter.com, because it's just much simpler and much faster to delegate there. You can hire good writers there for a fraction of the cost that it would take to hire, you know, writers on other websites. So iWriter is a really good site where you can hire writers, but unfortunately they won't be willing to, most of them won't be willing to create an outline like this because they don't have the time to watch this video to study it again. They're not going to have that time to do that. And iWriter does not support that kind of structure to it. So this is very important. This process is really one of the critical things that will make an SEO or even an SEM and even a social media marketing project succeed or fail. If you follow this process, it will greatly increase and greatly speed up the success of any project. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video.